on a night where former teammates faced off, the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Colorado Avalanche 5-3. Now, this one looked like it was going to get ugly for the Avalanche early on, as the Leafs actually went up 4-1 in the first period. Although the Avs scored 30 seconds into the game, the Leafs stormed into the game with 4 straight goals. Just absolutely insane. But this one ended just absolutely crazy. The Leafs seemed to have a lot of the pressure early on, but then the Avalanche just stepped back into it and really took control. But you have to remember, if you're Toronto fans, a lot of people would be looking at this game and go, okay, besides the first period, the Leafs got dominated. Well, if you look at the shots, 37-28, and some of those shots came in the last minute there. Freddie really had to hold them in, and Cody Ceci made a nice save there to save the game. But the Leafs actually played pretty decent. Colorado's been a pretty good team this year. And I thought the Leafs' effort was good. Sheldon Keefe, as a head coach in the National Hockey League, is now 2-0. I really liked the way that when the Leafs were on the power play and he knew he wanted to keep his first unit out there to get a goal when the Leafs were only up 4-2, or they were up 4-3, I can't remember. But Sheldon Keefe kept the first line out there by taking a timeout, which I really liked. Also, when he had the Avalanche hemmed into their own zone, he threw out Tyson Barrie to play with Morgan Riley, and he threw out Kapanen out there just to mix it up a little bit with Nylander and Matthews, just to keep them in that offensive zone and get some chances, and they did. So you can see he's mixing stuff up, he's trying new things, and it's working. The Leafs have done quite well. I really like the way that they've been playing under Sheldon Keefe within 2 games. Now, let's just talk about it. Frederik Andersen now improves to 11-5. He's having a better season than people are giving him credit for. Some of those losses the Leafs have had just are on the team in itself. Philip Grubauer is 7-5 now. The game-winning goal goes to Kasperi Kapanen. Excuse me, let's go into the statistics here now. Of course, when I mentioned at the beginning of the game, of course, the big news, the narrative going into this one was Nazem Kadri, my former favorite Leaf, obviously was involved in that big trade this summer at July 1st, actually, free agent frenzy. There was a big trade, and that was obviously after free agency closed, and it was Nazem Kadri and Calle Rosen, and I think there was like a pick involved for Tyson Barrie at 50% retained, and Alex Kerfoot. Now, of course, we've seen that both of these guys have respect for each other. I believe Barrie and Kadri even swapped homes, which is hilarious. But in this game, all of them were involved, and we know, I don't want to talk about it too much, but Kerfoot, oh boy, that hit on his former teammate Johnson. I don't think that he did it on purpose, and he was out there tonight getting a little scrappy with his former team. But the goals, McKinnon scored 30 seconds in, his 14th, assisted by Johnson, and of course, Nazem Kadri getting on the board. Then Nick Shore, I thought it was real classy of Sheldon Keefe to get him in the game. I believe he's a hometown boy, so that was really good, and he scored a nice tip. Pierre Engvall and Hall with the assist there. Austin Matthews scored right after that, like a minute later, his 16th from Tyson Barrie and Travis Dermott. So there's Barrie getting a point. Then the Leafs went on the power play like 3.5 minutes later. Barrie scored his second. So 2 games in a row, 2 games under Sheldon Keefe. And obviously on the first power play unit, he scored right away. So Keefe has made some changes. He's given Barrie some confidence, let him have, loose, like he can just go and do his thing. And he also put him on that first power play with Riley, and it paid off. Nylander made a beauty pass, so Nylander and Matthews got the assist. So good for Tyson Barrie. Then Kasperi Kapanen scored a breakaway goal, his 7th of the season, assisted by Spezza and Muzzin. So everybody getting on the board here tonight, which is good. Then in the second period, the power play now. This one was scored by Burakovsky. And it was assisted by Donskoy and Kadri, who had 2 assists on the night. And then the Valeri Nichushkin goal. I think this was his first goal in like over 90 games, which is insane. And that was assisted by Ian Cole. I can't remember which goal it was, but Freddie Andersen had a complaint about his helmet. A lot of people were saying it was the dent, like the shot hit him right in the front. I think it was something to do with the back of his helmet that he was mad about because he kept shaking it. So I honestly don't know what the correct call would have been there. If it actually was something loose on the back of his helmet, the play should have been blown dead. But ultimately, I guess it doesn't really matter. Hyman scored the empty netter with literally 0.1 of a second left, and that was obviously unassisted. Now, I think that the Leafs did a pretty decent job tonight on a lot of different sides of the game. The hits were tied 17 apiece, so a lot of people were saying on Twitter. I seen that it was, you know, the Avalanche were being a little more physical, but the hits ended up being the same. The Leafs got dominated in the faceoffs, 38-25. And shots on goal, like I said, 37-28. Both teams had 11 takeaways. The Leafs had 9 giveaways. The Avs had 11. There was a bunch of early giveaways. The Leafs had 26 block shots. The Avs had 16. And the Leafs were 1 for 2 on the power play. The Avs were 1 for 3. So the Leafs special teams are getting better. The team itself is getting better. The confidence is there. Tyson Barrie is doing well. Goals in back-to-back games. Good for Nazem Kadri for having a good game. I'm still a huge fan of the guy, and, you know, I wish him all the best. And, you know, his physical play and goal-scoring ability, and, you know, he gets on the score sheet. He had 2 assists tonight, is great. But I'm loving the way Barrie has been playing lately, and we know Kerfoot, he's been doing quite well as well. And hats off to Sheldon Keefe again for having a pretty solid game in his second game head coaching in the NHL. Hopefully it will continue from here. And yeah, like I mentioned, you know, just get everything going. Freddie Anderson was good. And we'll have to see who gets the ball tonight, the game ball for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 7,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.